Hey everyone, how's it going? Today's video is going to be definitely an interesting one because I will be showcasing all of the books that I'm unhauling. Yeah, I do realize I just filmed a book haul, my previous video, but these are the books that have been sitting in my closet ever since I've moved into this apartment that I no longer have room on these shelves to put on, and so they're just waiting there gathering dust. So before I get rid of them, I just wanted to show all of you guys all the books that I'm getting rid of because this is essentially the heads up promo that I'll be creating a Depop account to sell these books on. So if you want to get notified for any of these books or if any of these titles catch your interest, you can follow me on Ellias Reads to be notified when I create that Depop account to sell all of these books. I have around 130 books today that I'm going to show you guys to unhaul. And most of these books are YA. There are some thrillers and adult books in here, but majority of these books I feel like are contemporary romance, some series, and sci-fi. Quite a number of books to go over. Some of the main reasons why I'm getting rid of these books are because I'm no longer interested in reading them. I've disliked the book or DNF'd it at some point or time, and I've decided to get rid of them, give them to another reader where they could possibly enjoy the book better than I did. How I organized all this is that I'll be going over the books that I've already read at some point in time, either halfway or DNF'd, and then it'll go by genre after that. Before we get started, I would like to mention that this video is sponsored in part of a paid promotion for books, the Onyx Note Air. The Onyx Note Air is an e-ink reader and a tablet with a touchscreen and a stylus pen that comes with 32 gigabytes of space, perfect for your everyday use, such as note-taking, article and journal reading, and listening to the occasional audiobook. So along with the tablet itself, I was also sent a screen protector, a case, as well as a stylus pen. I found the Note Air to be really slim and light with a premium aluminum casing and ergonomic design, with adjustable front lights ranging from cold light blue all the way to warm yellow light. The tablet itself offers versatile Android features, meaning you can directly sign in and download apps from the Google Play Store. I've been mainly using this tablet to read and listen to some audiobooks, and surprisingly, the audio output is extremely clear. The only critique I would have for this is that it doesn't have an earphone jack, so you can't exactly listen to music or audiobooks with headphones, but personally I think the audio itself is pretty clear and pretty loud. The two possible ways you could use headphones are with a Type-C input port or with a Bluetooth headset.
So have men named me, just as they named you Dragon. But unlike you, I embrace the name.
So this is really fun and exciting for me just to discover and utilize, because if I had to read mainly from an e-reader's perspective, it's mainly from my phone. I've downloaded the Kindle app as well as Libby to download and borrow some books from the library. From Libby, I borrowed The House in the Cerulean Sea by TJ Klune, which is our book pick for the month of May for our book club. I loved how accessible it was, the look, the feel, the crisp lettering of the words on the page. You can also annotate and note take on different file formats and add bookmarks with their split view feature that they offer. A really cool feature with their notes as well is that you can add layers in your notes, very similar akin to Photoshop or Illustrator if you're familiar with those programs. So all in all, if you're looking for an e-reader and tablet that's highly customizable and versatile in every ways of reading, note-taking, studying for school or whatever, definitely check the tablet out. I will leave a link in the description box below that'll take you directly to their website. Thank you again over to Books for sending me the Note Air tablet and for sponsoring today's video. Alright, so with that being said and done, let us go straight into the unhaul. Well, this is just one pile of many, so I don't even know how I'm going to do this. Oh, fuck me. So honestly, I'm not going to explain too much. I'm not going to even go what each book is about because we will be here forever and I will hate myself editing this video. We're just going to go through this quick and fast, hit it and quit it. So I actually remember DNFing this one because I called out the mystery way early on and I thought it was just poorly written with a really bad main character. And this is Stalking Jack the Ripper. So this duology, The 10,000th Floor by Katharine McGee, I thought this was really fun, a really nice homage to sort of like Gossip Girl and Pretty Little Liars, but that era is over, don't you think? So I do remember finishing this book, but never picking up and finishing the second one, so. Oh boy, the next one up is a series I've had on my shelves, I think, since the beginning when I started my channel, and this is the Red Queen series, the first two books in the series, I believe. I think I read this like a while ago, like when I first started my channel, and I saw this at the library and I saw the cover and I was really intrigued. Upon reading and finishing it, I remember feeling super underwhelmed because I felt like I read certain aspects of the story before in other books, and overall I just wasn't really impressed. and I don't really even remember why I bought the second book. Maybe perhaps because of the cover. That's all I can say. So, the next book I actually read and I actually really liked, but have no intention of picking up the other books in the series, is Everless by Sarah Holland. Same thing applies to this book, is Roar by Cora McCormack. Alright, so this one, I believe, is a series, and I read the first book and a half for this one, The Last Magician and The Devil's Thief by Lisa Maxwell. I really enjoyed sort of the premise for this one, but the second book was just a huge snooze fest, so much different from the first one that I DNF'd this one, never really finished it. I don't think I ever will, so these have got to go. Alright, so the next book I read and finished and thoroughly disliked. I believe I gave us 1 star. Three Dark Crowns by Kendar Blake. I know a lot of people love this book and the series in general. It just wasn't for me. I felt like the characters themselves were the worst part of the story. The fact that one of the main characters, I remember this because it was just so absurd. She meets this boy for the first time and she runs off with him and they sleep together when she has like another boyfriend. Or he's in a relationship with another girl. Anyways, it was a huge mess, honestly, and it was just so slow. I don't mind slow books, but this one really took its time. Too much of its time. It really said, I'm going to take up all of your time. The next set is The Diviners and Lair Dreams by Libba Bray. Read the first one, thought it was good, but now I've sort of lost interest and have no intention of picking the rest of the series up. So it is what it is. So the next book, getting rid of this one because first of all, I didn't really like it. And secondly, the author herself has come under fire for some of the things that she has posted and said on Twitter, as well as some anti-Semitic things in her books. And this is Wicked Saints by Emily Duncan. Pretty self-explanatory. So personally for me, I thought it was a letdown anyway. I didn't really enjoy any of the characters or the writing, and I thought some of the plot points were really muddled. So the next book is Legend by Marie Lu. I remember getting this paperback at Barnes & Noble like way before I started my booktube channel, back when I was in my first year in college in Kansas. But also at the same time, I will probably never, ever in my life pick this book up again. And it'll either sit in a bookcase or in a box, gathering dust. So the next book is Don't Get Caught. I do remember reading about this one, but I forgot about it. Next one is these set of books, Conspiracy of Us and Map of Fates. Totally forgot about what the series is about. Don't even remember, like, at all. I do remember reading it and finishing it, just not what the series is about. Next, we have some thrillers, and the first one is The Girl Before. Remember reading this? Again, I don't remember anything about it. Lastly, in this pile is The Girl in 6E and Do Not Disturb. This one actually has a nice memory to it because I was on a 3 or 4 5-day road trip with my friend as we drove from California to Kansas, and I remember reading and finishing this book on the way there. But other than that nostalgic factor, these are gone. Alright, so the next pile, I guess, I can just go into series. So this set of series I have had on my bookshelf forever. I know so many people who have read it, who have loved it. There was a movie and a TV show that's come out because of these books. For some reason, I thought I would, perhaps love the series, but I remember reading the first book and not being too impressed. I didn't really vibe with the characters. I didn't really like the writing style. But, everyone said it was really good, so I trusted them. I bought all the books in the series at a used bookstore, thank God. And this series is The Mortal Instruments by Cassandra Clare. Yes, I know so many people have loved it. I just, all this time, have not been able to force myself to pick up or continue on with the rest of the series. However, I do want to point out that I do own the Dark Artifice trilogy. I think that takes place in like the 1900s in England or something. Don't quote me on that, I don't know. But everyone says if you had to choose between reading The Mortal Instruments or the other series, go with the latter. So that's what I'm doing, and just getting rid of these because I don't see myself ever picking these up anytime soon. So there you go. So the next series I'm getting rid of because I'm no longer supporting the author, and that is J.K. Rowling. Fuck, these books are heavy. Jesus Christ. Heavy with transphobia. Oh, fuck me. So now we have some middle grade. First one up being Sal and Gabby Break the Universe. This was sent to me, and at the time I thought I would be interested in reading it, but over time I now have lost interest. So it is what it is. Alright, next is a series I've actually read and completed, and I've heard that they're now making a movie out of it already. And this is The School for Good and Evil. I remember really feeling conflicted about it because I hated some of the characters, but I loved the story aspect of it. So I forced myself to continue and finish reading the series, and overall I can't remember exactly how it ended, but I don't really see myself in the future picking these books up again. So now I guess we can just go ahead into YA fantasy and thriller. The first one being The Last Namsara. Picked this one up because of the cover, getting rid of it because totally lost interest. Nightfall, lost interest. Hashtag murder trending, lost interest. Four Dead Queens, Unsolicited and Uninterested. Soundless, lost interest and also heard mixed things. The Glass Bear, don't really know too much about it, so therefore lost interest. Witchborn, lost interest. Cruel Beauty, also lost interest. We Were Liars, spoiled and therefore lost interest. Even the Darkest Stars, also lost interest. The Star-Touched Queen and A Crown of Wishes, tried to get into these books, but I just could not for the life of me get past the writing style. I guess it was more of a personal thing than anything. I really tried because I have held on to these for so long, and so I just can't do it anymore. Therefore, lost interest. The Crown's Game and The Crown's Fate by Evelyn Skye. I've actually heard really great things about this duology series in general, but ultimately lost interest. What else is new? White Rose. Absolutely know nothing about this book, so therefore lost interest. Next up, Tiny Pretty Things and Shiny Broken Pieces. Saw the TV show, and it was pretty bad, so goodbye. The Truth Beneath the Lies. I don't even know. Next up is the Burn trilogy, and I actually remember reading the first book. I don't even know which one's the first book. I'm pretty sure it's Burn for Burn, but I was actually spoiled for the mystery of this trilogy, and so I just never picked it up again and completely lost interest. Next is The Love Interest. I was actually really intrigued with the premise of this book, but I've heard really bad and mixed reviews, so lost interest. Alright, so we can assume for the next set of books that I've completely lost interest, okay? Beware the Wild, Slasher Boys and Monster Girls, A Map of Days, Black Ice and Dangerous Lies by Becca Fitzpatrick. And I've heard exceptionally bad things about both books, so... Alright, so now we are going into the sci-fi route, and first one up being Renegades by Marissa Meyer. I actually thought the premise was semi-interesting. It's about like superheroes, but ultimately I've lost interest altogether. Alright, this series I've actually heard really great things, but I've had this series forever on my shelves, and I've just completely lost interest. And this is The Knife of Never Letting Go by Patrick Ness. And the movie actually came out. I haven't seen it, but ultimately I don't see myself picking these books up in the near future. Alright, next is Half Bad. I remember about this one because it was like all the craze when it first came out on BookTube. Got it because of the hype, and I never picked it up, so. Poison Princess. Picked this up because of a friend's recommendation, but ultimately I've lost interest. Alright, the next one is Wolf by Wolf. Completely lost interest. The Walled City. Cool cover, but ultimately lost interest. Honestly, I think that the sci-fi dystopian genre isn't really working for me anymore, so. Alright, so the next one is a duology series, Undying and Unearthed. Lost interest. Alright, so the next book I've heard really great things about. I know so many people have loved it, and also like it's a really interesting reading experience because of like the different formats that they use to incorporate into the book. It's sci-fi. I don't really see myself either reading it or picking it up in the future, also because of the author himself. So this is Illuminate. Actually, speaking of Jay Kristoff, I own most of his books. I actually own all the books in the Storm Dancer trilogy, and I picked this one up because I saw an Asian main character on the front cover and I was really intrigued. And this was perhaps maybe 3 or 4 years ago, and I still haven't read them since. Even if it wasn't for Jay's cultural appropriation of Japanese culture of people of color in his books, I probably wouldn't even have picked these books up in the near future anyway. So getting rid of these, but just as Jay Kristoff was profiting off of Asian culture, you can bet that I will be also profiting off of his books for sure. So thanks, Jay. So the next set of sci-fi books I'm getting rid of, the Lux series by Jennifer L. Armentrout, also known for the Honeydew series. So these have a lot of nostalgia for me. In fact, while I did dislike her the newest series, I did, however, found nostalgic attachments to these books in general because I read them such a long time ago, back when I feel like I was sort of new into the YA genre. These were the first set of YA sci-fi romance books that I read, so I said what I said about her the series, but regarding this series, I just ultimately had to let them go because I don't think I could ever bring myself to ever bringing these books out and reading them in public in general. So, alright, so now we are going to go into sort of the romance contemporary genre, and this isn't exactly contemporary, it's more fantasy than anything, but this is Legendary by Stephanie Garber. This is also the second book in the series. I read the first one and I ultimately did not like it at all. I don't even know why I bought the second book. Ultimately, a waste of time and a waste of money for me. Okay, so the next one, I've actually heard pretty decent things about it, and this one has forever been on my bookshelf and I've never picked it up. I'll Give You the Sun by Jandy Nelson. The next set of books are all by the same author, and it's Fangirl, Eleanor and Park, Carry On, and Landline, all by Rainbow Rowell. I just have completely lost interest in her books in general, and I've heard pretty bad things about them now. So I feel like when I first started my YouTube channel here on BookTube, I felt like dystopian, sci-fi, and YA contemporary romance was all the craze. And so in the beginning, I owned so many contemporary romance books, all because I've either heard really great things or they were really hyping the book up. Alright, so the next one is Simon versus the Homo Sapien Agenda. I really heard great things about this book. I know this book is important for a lot of people. I saw the movie and I liked it, but I now don't see myself ever picking this book up. So, next is The One Thing. Again, I have no idea what this book is about. Right, the next is The Field Guide to the North American Teenager. Next is To Night Owl from Dogdish. Have no idea what this book is about. Undead Girl Gang. Highly illogical behavior. Me regarding buying all these books for this unhaul years later. More Happy Than Not. Me regarding this book unhaul. I'll meet you there at the bookstore getting rid of these books. Alright, the next book is Save the Date as to when I'll get rid of all these books, coming soon to a Depop near you. Alright, you know what? I'm just gonna go ahead and plow straight through these contemporary romances. Stay Sweet, The Fix, aka This Book Haul, or Unhaul I should say. The Great American Whatever, You Were Here, The Unexpected Everything, The Night We Said Yes to this unhaul. I Am Princess X, The Voting Booth, Geekerella, Your Voice Is All I Hear, Me, Earl, and the Dying Girl, holy shit that's bright, and Ugly, ew, The Impossible Knife of Memory, Let's Get Lost, Paper Towns, Truest, Other Bright Places, The Wrong Side of Right, 99 Days. Alright, so now we are down to the final 4 books of this unhaul. The second to last 2 are adult romances, and this is Clipped Wings and Easy. I've actually read this one, and I thought it was okay, but utterly forgettable, so don't remember too much about it. Okay, so the last 2 books in this unhaul, and the first one is signed, Can I Sit on Your Lap While You're Pooping? Finally, last and not least, Milk and Honey. So we are finally done. Please do not DM or message me or comment below asking if I can hold or save a book for you, because I'm not going to do that. Follow me on Instagram on Ellias Reads so you can be notified as to when I will set up a Depop account regarding these books if you guys are remotely interested and whatnot, because I'm deciding on only posting on that account for just a certain amount of time before I shut it down and take whatever books that are on there to the local used bookstore, because I don't want to keep or hold on to these books as long as I have already. These are the books that have been sitting in my closet that can't even fit on my shelves, so I still have yet to go over the books on my bookshelves to get rid of for more books, essentially. So my goal overall is to actually get rid of a whole bookshelf, because I feel like I have too many books in general. I think that's just personally for me though. Yeah, that's essentially it. Thank you so much for watching, guys, and I will see you all soon with a new video. Shit. Fuck. Well, that just happened. I don't even know how I'm gonna make a thumbnail because there's no way I'm carrying 130 books. Shit! I forgot! Hold on. Okay, so I lied. I thought I was done, but I wasn't. And I completely dropped the amount of books I was taking for the thumbnail on the floor, which moved the camera angle. So there's another pile of books I still have yet to show you to get rid of. So, fuck. Alright, so the last pile, I swear, are basically all adult books, essentially. Fiction, thriller, and fantasy. First up, we have The Secret History. I already own a copy of this, don't need another. Chase Darkness with Me. Absolutely know nothing about this book. The Sin Eater. Read this, did not like it, therefore getting rid of it. Pretty Guilty Woman. Don't know anything about this book. Next one is fantasy, and it's a hardcover of The Eye of the World. I already own a better edition of this book that looks better than this one. So this one's just a little worn, a little beat down, but again, preference and style, so I just don't need another copy. Next set is the Detective Cormoran series by Robert Galbraith, aka She Who Shall Not Be Named. So, Yes Please by Amy Poehler. Don't really even know how or why I even got this book. So, Room by Emma Donoghue. Lock In. When We Were Vikings. Alright, finally, last and not least. Oh, also by Donna Tartt is The Goldfinch. Okay, for real, that was the end for this time, so alright, that's it. That's the end. Goodbye. Thank you for watching. It just took too much. It It really said, it really said, it really said, it really said, I'm gonna take two. It really said, it really, it really said, Alright, so the next books are Lair of Dreams and. No. Jesus Christ!